Today's video is about sewing for your American Girl dolls. If you don't like the price of American Girl's outfits, if you don't like any of American Girl's outfits, sewing is a great way to get past all of those things. This skirt of Lindsay's is sewn. This skirt of Lindsay's is one of the most recent things I've made. Actually, no one else seems to be wearing a hand-sewn outfit today. So I guess we'll be moving on to what I call the bucket of clothing. No, but seriously, this bucket is the cardboard box from which Lindsay arrived in the doll hospital, or from the doll hospital. We also have this giant mound of Legos, which I'm supposed to do something with. Let's take a look at a few of the things that you can make. With sewing, it opens up a whole new world of clothing possibilities. There's this cool little vest I made. It's satin and then just blue cotton. This is one of my favorite skirts ever. It's a very short skirt, but it is one of my favorites nonetheless. I made this dress out of duct tape. I don't use it a lot, but I think one day I'm going to end up doing something to it and making it look better. I have these shorts, which is my only successful pair. Oh wait, that's actually my unsuccessful pair of gym shorts, which I could finish if I wanted to. I have this running tank top that I made. Again, back when I did that. I have this zebra dress, which was supposed to be like the duct tape one, only better. I have this little coat I made, and this little tank top, and so many other things. I have a little nurse's uniform. Well, I call it that, but essentially, so this is a hospital gown, this is pants and a shirt. I have this dress, which I made for Ashley and Ella, which has like a 2-foot train on it. Just so many fun things. Like I said, sewing opens up a world of possibilities and is also a great way to keep playing with your American Girl dolls even as you grow older. To get started sewing, you really only need a needle, thread, and some fabric. But of course, that isn't going to last you forever. You could also invest in a sewing machine. However, sewing machines are expensive. I will quickly show you my machine over here. This is my sewing machine. It is a Singer Talent. I got it as a Christmas present from my grandmother. It was on sale, and that was the only reason I was really able to get it. So yeah, wait for a sale before you buy your sewing machine. Here's just a bit of the mess. Make sure you are really committed to sewing before you start buying all this stuff. Don't start out with like a huge collection of fabric and needles, thread, pens, chalk, all this stuff if you're not going to actually sew. Here's Briar now. Just sort of, I thought I was going to make a skirt out of this. I'm still not sure if I am. This is a skirt that I made with sleeves for the shirt that's supposed to go with it that I can't make. This is another thing I wanted to make from the American Girl patterns. Yeah. So one of the things, especially about sewing for 18-inch dolls, which is the main focus of this video, in sewing for 18-inch dolls, you will find that with your fabric, you need to make sure that the print is scaled to the doll. So for example, this is a tank top, and it's got a pretty scaled back print, you know. But this fabric right here has really big polka dots on it. So the only thing I ever made out of it for my dolls was a mattress, which I actually gave away to someone that I know. But you need to make sure that you don't have giant 5-inch polka dots on your fabric. Because if you have giant 5-inch polka dots or huge chevron marks, if you have that, it's going to look really bad on the doll. So that's one of the things. Sometimes I'll find a cute fabric and I'll be like, oh, this is cute. And then it ends up that the fabric is too big of a print for the dolls. These are some of my... Oh, there's my seam ripper! Isn't it a beauty whenever you open up this thing? Here's some of my unfinished projects. There's a pillowcase, a sleeve to a dress, I don't even know what that is. This was supposed to be a springtime skirt, and it was going to look really cool, but then I messed up on the elastic, and I thought I could do it a certain way, and this was supposed to be a hoodie, but the directions got too confusing, which is sad, because I liked that hoodie. This was supposed to be a strip for a robe. Yep, that is just the project, that's just the thing that we don't want to really mess with right now. Unless, of course, I'm extremely bored. This is my I'm extremely bored and have nothing to do box. When you begin sewing, you're really just going to need 2 colors of thread, white and black. I started sewing, I always tend to buy like some random colors, like yellow. I have this light blue. Thread I currently have in my machine includes navy blue and black bobbin. Now the things that I can recommend to get, I will probably post in the description, like levels of what you want to have when you're sewing. In conclusion, sewing for your American Girl dolls is a great thing. In conclusion, sewing for your American Girl dolls is an awesome way to make cheap clothes and continue playing with your dolls even when you get older. When you start sewing, it doesn't matter if you're sewing for dolls or for yourself. You really only need thread, a needle, and fabric. But as soon as you get your sewing machine, you are going to want to buy some thread and a seam ripper. After that, things that are optional but are really should be necessary would be a bobbin keeper and extra bobbins. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how much I love this thing. It needs to be cleaned out, but the bobbin keeper is absolutely amazing. Like, without extra bobbins, what would we do? I do not know. That is one of the first things that's optional that you should buy. Other optional things include elastic, very much elastic. Don't be cutting this elastic in half. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I save it anyway. And bias tape, you can buy that or make it. Another thing, patterns. Patterns, you see, are really expensive. Really, really expensive. Let me show you what I mean. This is my Simplicity American Girl pattern. American Girl recently came out with 3 of these newer patterns in partnership with Simplicity. Pleasant Company had patterns way back in the day for Molly, Samantha, Kirsten, Josefina, and Felicity, and I believe that was it, if I'm correct. Now, patterns are expensive. This pattern, which makes everything right here, costs $22.95. Yes, it costs $22 for some transparent paper and an instruction manual. Patterns are extremely, extremely expensive. I wouldn't buy a pattern until you know how to sew and have made a few things. So, if you have made maybe a shirt, pants, and a little dress, and you're very confident in your sewing abilities, then it's time to go out and buy a pattern. I wouldn't necessarily recommend the American Girl pattern for your first pattern. I would recommend, I believe Simplicity, the brand themselves, has a few 18-inch doll patterns. And, of course, you just sort of look around on the market. If you want to have a pattern but don't have the money to buy an expensive pattern, there's always free patterns on the internet. However, you're going to have to be careful because a lot of those patterns say they are made for 18-inch dolls and they won't quite fit American Girl. Especially if you have had experience with other brands such as Target's Our Generation or Journey Girls or My Life. You know that some of their clothing and their shoes don't fit all 18-inch dolls. Because, yes, they are all 18-inch dolls, but of course there is not one collective body type that can be made for. But there's not one collective body type that every pattern will fit. You know, American Girl dolls are cloth, and some dolls are plastic, and some dolls are half cloth and half plastic. It really just depends on what the pattern was made for. So be really careful of that. I've had experience with good free patterns and bad free patterns. And some patterns are free, but they will require you to buy it from a website, because that's how you buy the PDF. Another good investment if you are going to begin sewing is sewing scissors. I got these as a Christmas gift, and they are the absolute best thing in the world. I believe they were pretty expensive. I can't remember how much they cost, but I did get these as a Christmas present, and good sewing scissors are a blessing to all. You also need a ruler or a measuring tape. Measuring tapes are helpful really just in life. Mine doesn't even roll up. It is all the way over there. That is my measuring tape. Whee! Here's some fabric that I'm going to use to make I don't know what yet. I will have quite a bit more information posted in the description below. But if you'd like to begin sewing for your American Girl dolls, look for a tutorial. That is my honest opinion. Look for a tutorial, get out your needle, and hand sew. Thank you all so much for watching. If you would like to request a sewing tutorial, you may do so in the comments.